Don't you spill red wine on the Mac. I get told off at university for that. Just a reminder to everyone that we are filming tonight, which is what all these wonderful contraptions are, and why I don't know where to look at all, but sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. We are raising money for the Migrant Offshore Aid Station, and for these past few days for Visual Radio Arts, what we're going to do is amalgamate lots of the shows and put clips and make a YouTube video and also a Facebook video for Visual Radio Arts to recognise that. For Frome Festival and Visual Radio Arts, playing the harp, the shruti box, the drum, the loop pedals, so many guitars, and all rather carefully handled by one of Britain's finest folk musicians, Ange Hardy. If we could give the warmest of welcome for Frome Festival and Visual Radio Arts to Ange Hardy for this evening. Thank you.
Hello. Welcome. It's lovely to be back in Frome and playing for the festival again. I was here a couple of years ago and had a lovely time and made lots of new friends. And it's nice to see some of you back this time, so thank you for coming. Okay, no pressure with the recording, but, you know, with a nice round of applause for everything would be, you know, much appreciated. I'm quite lucky, you see, because my sound engineer is also my husband. And it means that at every gig I go to, I'm guaranteed at least one whoop. So it's brilliant. We're guaranteed to get a little bit of it. There it is. Actually, that wasn't my husband. I recognised that. Anyway, having bought all these guitars and contraptions to stage with me, I'm actually just going to, for the fun of it, start with an a cappella song. And the reason for that is because I do love to just sing songs that tell a fantastic story and that just embrace what I believe the folk tradition is all about, which is sharing stories and beautiful melodies. This song is one of the first folk songs, traditional folk songs that I learnt and fell in love with. It's called She Moves Through the Fair. My young love said to me, my mother won't mind, and my father won't slight you for your lack of kind. And she laid her hand on me, and this she did say, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. She stepped away from me, and she moved through the fair. So fondly I watched her move here and move there, and she made her way homeward with one star awake, as the swan in the evening moves over the lake. Now the people, they were saying that the two never were wed, and one had a sorrow that never was said. And I smiled as she passed by with her goods and her gear, and that was the last that I saw of my dear. Last night she came to me, my dead love came in, So softly she entered, that her feet made no din. And she laid her hand on me, and this she did say: it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. No, it will not be long, love, till our wedding day. So a quick show of hands of anyone that has seen me before. Okay, we're doing not too bad. Well, welcome to all you new faces, and thank you to all you repeat offenders, as I like to call you. So for those of you that haven't seen me, I'm just going to explain how the loop pedal works, otherwise it's going to start getting quite confusing when lots of Anges start singing at you. So basically, it's like an old-fashioned tape recorder. I press the button with my toe, and it records what I sing into it. And when I press it again, it plays it back, and I can record another layer over, and so on and so forth. So I press the button, it records what I say, and when I press it again, it plays it back to you. 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 Now, I've just come back from Sark. Has anyone ever been to Sark? Fantastic place. No cars on Sark, just tractors. And I did this beautiful set out in the most idyllic setting at the top of the hill. And it was outside a cafe. And halfway through my set, halfway through a loop, a tractor went past. And it went past again. Oh, yes. Coffee frothers, I've had them all. All sorts of things in my loop. But there we go. This time I'm going to start with a bit of whistle, and then I'm going to bring that into the instrumental. And it's all done live as you watch. So this is called The Trees They Do Grow High. It's another traditional song, and one that I've grown to love a lot. Trees, they do grow high, leaves, they do grow green. Many's a cold winter's night my love and I have seen. Of a cold winter's night, my love, you and I alone have been. While my bonny, bonny boy, he is growing, growing, growing. My bonny, bonny boy, he is growing. Oh, Father, dearest Father, you've done to me great harm. You've tied me to a boy when you know he is too young. And daughter, dearest daughter, if you wait a little while, a young lady you shall be while he's growing, growing. He was a married man, and at the age of 17 he was father to a son. And at the age of 18 the grass grew over him. Cruel death soon put an end to his growing. And now my love is dead, and in his grave doth lie. The green, green grass grows over him so very, very high. I'll sit and I shall mourn his fate until the day I die. And I'll watch all over our child while he's growing, growing, growing. My bonny, bonny boy, he is growing. My bonny, bonny boy, he is growing. Thank you. So I started writing when I was 14 years old, and I'd run away from a children's home and found myself living on the streets in Ireland. And it was there that I lived on the streets for 4 months and was given a guitar and told to busk. So I started writing music because I didn't know any, and I became a songwriter. And then as my career developed later on, I needed to start writing outside of myself because all my songs had always been about me. And then someone came along and asked me to write the story of his mother, Mabel. And it just got me, it grabbed me, and I realised for the first time that I could write about other stories and other things and other people. So he was the eldest of 9 children, and his mother was married to a sailor, and whenever he went off to sea, they would kind of wave him off by hanging something called the Sailor's Farewell, a picture of a sailor leaving on the wall. And whenever he returned, they'd replace that picture with the sailor's return. And so the tradition went on for years until one year he didn't come back. And this chap, the eldest of these brothers, just said that he had to just wait with his mum. I could really communicate with having watched a mother grieve, because that's something I've done with my mum, but also the having to grow up very, very quickly. So, yeah, probably not one of my happiest songs, but probably one of the most significant. And for me, well, I went to see someone a couple of days ago, a Welsh singer called Lowry, and she's done lots of songs, but one in particular has had a lot of success, and she said, "This is my Welsh hit." Welsh hit. I'm really glad this is my Somerset hit, because it's much easier to say without getting it wrong. So this is called The Sailor's Farewell. I'm going to tune quick. The guitars do not like the heat very much. It were in tune when I bought it. Really? I would complain about the heat, putting my guitars out. But I've been enjoying the heat. Okay. The Sailor's Farewell. Mabel, mother of mine, if I were able, I'd take your wine, turn it into water, and you'd be fine. Dearest Mabel, dearest Mabel, mother of mine, and Mabel, mother of mine, if I were able, I'd take all nine of your dear children, and they'd be fine. Dearest Mabel, mother of mine, they will ride the ways away, and they will not come home. They will ride the ways away, and they will not come home. Oh, Mabel, mother of mine, dearest Mabel, mother of mine, and Mabel, mother of mine, if I were able, I'd wait here by. Farewell, the sailor, and we'll be fine. Dearest Mabel, mother of mine, time not able, mother of mine, dearest Mabel, mother of mine. I always love watching people tune on stage because it's one of those things where you can either do it or you can't, and I can't. And it was a wonderful moment where I said to my husband, I had two tunings. I had standard tuning and I had dadgad tuning. And I was spending more time tuning than I was singing. And I said, do you think it would be a good idea, just for slick, to make it look professional, we'll have a guitar for each tuning? And he said, yeah, all right, let's do that. Yes. Started writing loads of songs in different tunings. And now I've got loads of guitars. It's great. So every time I fancy a new guitar, I just write a new song in a random tuning and hey presto, Rob, can I have another guitar, please? So far, it's working. Okay, one of the... I suppose throughout my writing career, it's always been about me up until a certain point. It was all about using music as a counsellor and as something to get me through some tough times. And then I never really knew where that fitted or what it sounded like or it wasn't pop, it wasn't rock, it didn't really fit. And then I came across this CD called the Salvi Harp collection, which was an FDES collection. And suddenly I realised where I fitted. I was like, that's it, folk. Right, now I have a name, I can do something with it. I know a little bit more about my direction. And so I've been kind of bathing in folk ever since. And this was kind of my first attempt at a folk song, deliberately writing a folk song. And I figured I had to either start at sea, and so someone had to drown, or start in the woods, and someone had to be hunted. I figured that was pretty much where it was. My understanding of folk has expanded since then. But anyway, so one night I got a bit drunk and I watched Avatar and then I wrote a folk song. And this is what happened. Mother Willow Tree, she takes the form of the Avatar tree, that's Mother Nature, and she breathes life into a hare and she sends it off to play a trick on a couple of hunters. And the poor hunter ends up becoming a hare and living the rest of his days out being chased. Why'd you try to take a gun to me, Mr. Hunter? Why'd you try to take a gun to me? Two men take their guns to tread the land for the battle of their egos will, that each will try to aim for the iron and a single shot will kill. The hands in the tavern wave as soldiers by as the men stumble up into the hills. The warmth in their chest from the whiskey at best, to the woods they'll go to kill. Tell me why, Mr. Hunter, why? Why'd you try to take a gun to me, Mr. Hunter? Why'd you try to take a gun to me? Now you will take a bow at mother's chest, for her bosom is a willow tree. She weeps in the wood for the hunter's good and waits for fools like thee. Chase me, hunters, if your egos will, you'll run to take aim at me. I'll run, I'll run, I'll run to my mother willow tree. Tell me why, Mr. Hunter, why? Why'd you try to take a gun to me, Mr. Hunter? Why'd you try to take a gun to me? settle down to take their aim at the bosom of the willow tree. Their sights to their eyes, those two will try to take a shot at me. There at her bosom where the hunters bow, my mother, she will smile with glee, as her poisoned roots fill up their boots, a spell she'll cast on thee. Tell me why, Mr. Hunter, why'd you try to take a gun to me, Mr. Hunter? Why'd you try to take a gun to me? You now hunters, you must run like fools, for the spell of the willow tree has turned your blood from the thickest mud into the blood of a hare like me. So run, for the hunters, they will tread this land, the battle of their egos will, that each will try to aim for your eye, and in a single shot will kill. Tell me why, Mr. Hunter, why'd you try to take a gun to me, Mr. Hunter? Why'd you try to take a gun to me? For you tried to take a gun to me, Mr. Hunter. Now a hare forever you shall be. So I've been working on a new album. I've done an album every year for 5 years. So I thought, why break the habit? And I'm on number 6. I am going to have a break next year from doing albums, but only because I've spent too much on this one. And what's happened is I've done all sorts of projects in the past. I've gone from solo doing really kind of stripped back barefoot folk, right the way round. I've ended up doing an album with a band, an album based on the life and works of Samuel Taylor Coleridge, so a project album. And then my last album was a duo album. And I've come full circle, and I'm back to being on my own again for the next year. So I decided to bring this story full circle, the story of the hunter from the first album, and wrote the next chapter. And in true folk fashion, I finished him off. Basically what happens is his son, he decides to walk in Daddy's footsteps and becomes a hunter and goes out and guess which hare he chooses to hunt. I think it's called The Hunt of the Prey, but I've not really decided yet. The hunted the prey, now her spell does bind me. I am the hunted the prey, run away, run away. I am the hunted the prey, now her spell does bind me. I am the hunted the prey, run away, run away. I am the hunted the prey, now her spell does bind me. I am the hunted the prey, run away, run away. I am the hunted the prey, now her spell does bind me. For many a year I had waited in fear by the tree that my mother had changed me. From fighting and fierce with gun and with spear to the shape of the young hare that claimed me. And now I must run and hide from the guns in the hope that the forest will hide me. But when I begun I was mighty and young, I'd none but the strong wind behind me. Oh, I am the hunted the prey, run away, run away. I am the hunted the prey, now her spell does bind me. My blood it is thick and my heart it is quickened, the spell of 100 defines me. And now I must sit with the wood and the stick in the hope that the forest will hide me. I trod the land and chased the hare down. It was here that my mother did take me. My head to the ground for to hide from the hound. My mother a hare, she did make me. Oh, I am the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Run away, run away. I am the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Now the spell to find me. So what to become of the man and his gun who had sworn in a shot he will slay me? What of my son who aims as I run? How the tables have turned to betray me. And then comes a shot, I fall to my lot, and the spell of my mother, it leads me. I was the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Now how my boy is to grieve me. Oh, I am the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Run away, run away. I am the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Now her spells has find me. Oh, I am the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Run away, run away. I am the hunter, the hunted, the prey. Now her spells has find me. Okay, so since I've just sung a song from the new album, I thought I'd sing another one. The album's going to be out in November, and if you want to find out about it, then if you fill in your slips on the table with the mailing list with the lovely Ange Hardy pen, which you may take with you if you've joined the mailing list. You may take a pen if you haven't joined the mailing list. I won't judge you much. But yeah, fill out the mailing list and you'll find out all about it when it happens. So this next song is called Rose. I met a lady when she was in her 80s, and her name was Hazel, and she was one of the most beautiful people I'd ever got to meet. And Hazel was very loved, very, very funny, very dry sense of humour. A lot of people were kind of tripped up by it because you wouldn't expect it from someone of her age. She was just like a 20-year-old in an 80-year-old's body. And she was a fantastic painter, and she used to write, and she used to read. And when it came to the point where she needed some help, being kind of fiercely independent, her family decided to put her into something, basically it was kind of assisted care. So she had her own flat, and it had her own kitchen and kind of toilet and bathroom and all the rest of it, and she was totally self-sufficient. But the back door of the flat opened onto a hallway, and the hallway had nurses 24/7 on call. So it was perfect for her. And the family kind of came to visit every week, and then every month, and then every year. And she used to speak to me about waiting and just the boredom and the time, how time goes so fast in your life, right up until the point where people drop you and then suddenly it just seems to stop. And her fingers weren't working properly anymore, so she couldn't paint and she couldn't read. And I felt she deserved a song, because in her time she really was a rose. And I think it's important that we remember that as you age, you're still you. And I guess what I'm saying is, if you've got a granny, go see her. You know, that. This is Rose. growing days gone. Long are the hours from coming and going. My home, it is empty, my patience is done. But once I was a summertime pastime long ago. Once I was a summertime, once I was a rose. Now slow are the winter days sitting and waiting. Fast were the finer days when I was young. Loud is a timepiece my grandfather gave me, and I too, like him, one day soon will be gone. But once I was a summertime, a pastime long ago. Once I was a summertime, once I was a rose. Now grown are my little ones, constant and working. Far are their homes from the place I am now. I was a daughter once, living and growing and wishing my days past. I wish I'd slowed down. But once I was a summertime, a pastime long ago. Once I was a summertime, once I was a rose. I found it very hard to walk past my grandma's door since I wrote that song. Okay, I'm going to just do one more and we'll have a little break and get some new drinks. And yeah, I'm probably going to place myself randomly in a very random place in the room behind the CDs over there with the money box. If you would like to come and say hello, please do, because it's lovely to meet everybody. And we take cards as well, 21st century and all that. So if you don't have enough cash for the bar and CDs, then we can take cards, which is great. And yeah, did I mention I've got children? I've got 2. No, it's fine. Come and say hello. Right, this is called The Bout of the Sailor. It's from the album The Lament of the Black Sheep. And this is my drum. Now, all the instruments on stage have a name. This is Willow Elizabeth. That is Lyra. This is Mr. Miyagi, because I stand like that when I'm playing him, like in The Karate Kid. We've got Doodles and we've got Aslan. And the drum so far has had, well, I've called it a lot of names. I'm not quite there yet. And every now and then, I think I'm going to give it a permanent name. And all the ones that come out are not polite. So we'll see where we get today, whether it will work. Do you know what? I reckon it's worked. Off the winds they blow, off the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold, off the winds they blow. Off the winds they blow, off the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. call. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Gentleman in blue and white, he stands so proud and tall, tilts his brow and lifts his hat, all for the pretty girls. Each one of them so fine and trim, all lined up in a row. Bow to the sailor at his call. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Gentleman, he takes his gun, his armor and his blade, calls his name to the Commodore and takes to the English ways. Commodore with lace and crown and shoulders dressed in gold. Oh, wait, your captain, he does call. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Gentlemen, they blow, they blow. White, he stands so proud and tall, tilts his brow, lifts his hat. Oh, for the pretty girls, each one of them so fine and trim, all lined up in a row. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow, they blow. Oh, for the winds they blow. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow. Gentlemen, they blow, they white, he stands so proud and tall, he tilts his brow and lifts his hat, all for the pretty girls. Each one of them so fine and trim, all lined up in a row. Bow to the sailor to scold. Oh, for the winds they blow.